Hello, my name is Zhatelier. Welcome back, well, rather, welcome to a brand new series of Civilization 4 Colonization. We're playing the We the People mod, which is quite a comprehensive overhaul mod for the game. You might be hearing a bit of music on the background, which is not from the mod, mostly because I'm not entirely sure that all the songs in the soundtrack of this mod, which is a good soundtrack, but I don't know if all of those are copyright free, so I'm going with some music from EU4, which, you know, hits the same time period, so it should be fine. But we're going to be playing today, as you probably guessed from the title. I'm going to do a custom game, but we're going to be playing as Sweden. And then we're going to, I suppose, let's set the settings here. So we're going to have the massive map. I have most of the settings that we're going to set up here are things that were actually voted by my community on my Discord server. The link is down below in the description. But yeah, so we're going to go with the game speed. What was voted was actually marathon, but I'm actually going to go for the build-up mode instead. The difference is with marathon, everything goes really slow. Like, it takes 2 years in-game to get from America back to Europe, or from the New World back to the Old World. Whereas with the build-up modes, it's I think it's the same speed as it is with the normal speed. However, each round is, or each turn is only 1 month of time, so it gives us a lot of time to build up stuff, and I think we're going to go with the build-up mode then. It's, in certain aspects, it's going to be making it a lot easier to build up stuff, which is going to be very handy, because we're going to go with the 1 plot build radius, or the colony land size, so basically they can only work with the tiles around the city, or whatever buildings is in the city, which means that there's going to be probably a lot more towns overall that we need to do. The northern and southern border are going to be the same as default, same with the land allocation and land regularity. The thing that we are going to change, though, is 45% land percentage. That was voted on by the community. I suppose we could keep the permanent alliances on, but they did vote for no ancient ruins or no goodie huts. But we will have the random events. We're also going to have only 1 colonist learning per native settlement. And then reduce colony distance so we can have more towns if need be, if we own the area. We're going to go with just the middle option in terms of difficulty right now, which is a bit more difficult than what the AI is going to have, but not too much. So yeah, we're going to go with that. We're going to go ahead and set up the various competitors over here. There we go. And then there's going to be quite a few natives as well. Actually, yeah, we're going to keep it as that. So there's going to be 31 native factions. That's going to be quite a few. We're going to keep the victory on independence, domination, or industrialization, which I don't remember what the industrialization and domination do. I have played these original colonization. I streamed that around, I think 2 years ago, or something like that. And in that one, we did manage to reach independence after a long while. It was quite a fun game, but that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to go with the 1 plot radius for the cities, because in that one it's also 1, so it's easier to see. Plus, it's also a lot easier to see in the gameplay as well, on like what is working where and how much we're getting stuff from there. But it does also mean a bit smaller towns, which actually can help a little bit. But it does also mean more troops needed to guard all the towns, so it's got a bit of ups and downs. But yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep the settlement raising on. So let's launch. This is going to take a few moments, but thanks to the editing, you'll be seeing the map in a moment. And there we are. We got Johan Prince. Funnily enough, both of the potential leaders for Sweden are named Johan. But yeah, so we got the agriculture. Actually, can we see the modifiers? Not directly in here. But yeah, it's going to be pretty good modifiers overall. We start with a dragoon, a colonist, and a carrack. Oh, caravel, sorry, not carrack. Which is kind of the smallest, well, one of the smallest trade vessels. It's fairly quick, but it's not that great overall, so we definitely want to get some better. But let's see. Okay, we got a... Looks like there's going to be a coastline up this way, judging by the edge of the ocean axis over here. Now, one thing that I do want to do at the start of each episode is go quickly, like a few notes about what is going on in Sweden historically. And right now, in 1492, Sweden is still part of the Kalmar Union. It's currently ruled by The regents, then Stura the Elder. Supposed to be, it's not too bad of a time to go colonizing, I guess. But let's have a look at how things are. Oh, right. Dream of fame and glory. So you have a dream and all that. There's a bit of sort of immersion in there on why you are heading out. Oh, and there we go. We've found some land. So let's have a look. What do we have here? There's a river going through there. A small river. There's bigger rivers that you can actually sail in. Also, there we go. Let's turn that storm sound down a little bit. Let's get a little bit closer. So if we have a look at the colonist, it says that that could be okay. I mean, that would have a harbor. I think another harbor over there actually as well. It would have a hill over there for mining potentially. I think there's another hill. You know what? Let's send in the dragoons down there first. Ooh, there's potential for some wine over there. And then there's the coffee bushes. And there's 3 hills and a bit of area over there. Oh, there's also boobies. It's birds over there. Okay. It's not really the worst location. I don't know if we're on an island though. But let's oh, right now saying that we should go there instead. Or there. I mean, this one wouldn't be great for initial food. If we go over there, we can actually get some wine. Constantly. Let's actually go ahead and move in here. Oh, there's also potential for some... there's domesticated geese over there. So if we do some geese farming in here, we can actually get quite a bit more. Well, a little bit more production on that. All right, let's get to the next round. Right, yeah, we'll set up the colony right here. Oh, brilliant. We are actually just outside the radius of the natives as well. This is actually going to be good. Accidental, but good. Let's call calling the settlement Spike. And then, let's see. We could either... the pier would be good for food. We can then do some fishing in here. The village hall is going to unlock a lot of various other buildings. It's basically needed to unlock a lot of other things. And chapel would allow us to get some religion, which means that we can get more people moving in from Europe. But I think we're going to start with the pier. Food production is going to be quite handy. Let's go ahead and send our cavalry down here. Oh. Alright then, yeah, there shall be peace. And then let's head over here. We'll respect the peace. Oh, there's another one over there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trade over here. What do they have? Oh, they got some bird feathers. They do have some olives. They would sell for 3 per unit. So what do you want for that? 100. Okay, so that would be about a bit shy of 2. So there'll still be 1 profit per unit of olives. So we'll accept that offer. And then let's actually have a look at... Okay, so that is just a bay. Oh, no, it does continue through there. Potentially. And there seems to be a bit of coastline there. So what are we actually making here? We are... Oh, right. Oh, I forgot about that. We start with the expert farmer as the colonist. Okay, so food-wise we're doing pretty good. We're actually going to be getting some pops in here, like well, 18 rounds, so 18 months, I guess. And we are... Well, we're not getting too much religion yet. We've got 3, or these 4. It's going to be... chosen on random from these whenever we get the bar filled on what is going to actually spawn on the pier there, and then we can go ahead and send a ship to pick those up. We're not going to... Well, actually, we will probably be sending the ship back soon enough. Let's go ahead and do a small little exploration. Oh, house roaring. Right, so we've got the settlement done. First natives met. Ah, and the first town. So we could get more religion. That could be kind of handy in increasing the town. We could, on the other hand, go for extra Liberty Bells, which does mean that we will have... well, the Liberty Bells is a concept that we'll explore in a moment. Actually, let's choose that one. Food-wise, we're doing pretty good. Let's talk with the chief. Okay, expert Europa planter. And we get 150 gold. Okay. That is pretty good. Go ahead and explore a little bit further in here. There's a bit of clay over there, which is going to be quite handy. Oh, okay, that's a river, though. Yeah, the river starts over there. Okay, we do know at least that there is a connection between these areas. Let's go down this way. Next round, we'll go out and buy some stuff from them. We're getting a bit of the wine. It's not all the grapes. It's not going to be the best money. But yeah, so if we have a look at the limited bells, so right now we should be getting 1 per round. Thanks to the building over here. Which actually we haven't built anything yet in here. The only thing that we have is the carpenter shop. And, well, actually, we do start with a corn chamber, which does give us a bit of happiness and food, which is quite handy. And then we've got the village well, which gives us a bit of health and happiness. So there's certain bonuses that affect the resources that you get. One of them is the health. It can go from +10 to -25, and it's just a direct percentage multiplier in there. And then there's also the limited bells. For every 2% that you have, or every 2% support that you have for independence, you will get a 1% boost for the production of whatever it is that you're producing. So it can be quite handy. Now, we do actually have a really good food production right now. We do spend a little bit of food. We got a production of about 11 plus 17%. So that gives us about 12. And then we have a surplus at 10, which is not too shabby. Now, we do have a storage of 900. But something worth noting is that I believe there's some of the supplies that do not count for that, like food, building materials like lumber. I think stone doesn't either. I don't know about clay, probably not. And then I think tools and weaponry and such do not count for that either. I could be mistaken on that, but there's basically 3 different categories of resources. There's a total of 99 different resources. But there's the supplies, which is like the food and building materials and military supplies. And then there's raw resources, which can then be crafted into new resources or further goods. And then for that also things like the cattle and horses, or all the animals count for that as well, kind of. But yeah, so there's quite a bit of things to look into. So that's part of the reason why the We the People mod might feel a bit overwhelming for some. But it's honestly not that... Oh, we met some... Oh... Right. We can either get a chapel for 2 rounds of disorder, we can get a tavern for 2 rounds of disorder, or we can receive 200 gold. I'm going to go with the tavern, because that is 50 hammers to build, at least with this speed. There's 2 rounds of disorder, that's not going to be too bad. And yes, there shall be peace with Portugal, for now at least. They got 300 gold. I can probably go ahead and do a bit of trading in here. Oh, we could buy some hemp. Now here's the thing, hemp is needed for ropes and sailcloth, which is needed to making ships, among other things. There's a few other things that, or at least you can use them on, well, the sailcloth or horse wagons, which are needed to transport stuff over land. There's also 2 other options for transporting stuff over land, but there's limited options in the end, and then if you want to build ships here rather than purchase them back at Europe, then you need to have either hemp or flax to make the rope and sailcloth. So we could buy the hemp already. We could alternatively, actually, we'll buy both. Oh wait, no, I can't buy both. I'm gonna buy the hemp. 186, that's quite a bit of money. We'll accept that. What I will do is we'll actually go ahead and deliver the hemp over here to Spike. Let's, I suppose I could send in my Dragoon up here. We don't really want to leave the town undefended for too long. If it goes, or grows too much, it will start having issues. We're going to go ahead and explore a little bit to the west first. Oh, there's some chicken over there. So potentially a city over here somewhere might not be the worst, although that would be pretty bad for food. They would have to rely solely on the outskirts to provide the food for them, which is not exactly ideal. We're not alone in foreign land, which means that we met... oh, is this... Oh, there's a different one. Chief Joseph. Chief of the Ness Pairs. Well, I suppose we could go ahead and talk to them, see what they offer. So I want to go ahead and unload the hemp, but then I suppose what we could load up is the grapes. And then we're going to go ahead and sail to... Do we want to sail to Europe? I think we probably can. And also, on all the towns that you visit, the nation towns, they have one thing that they can train you for. And we've limited so that there's only going to be 1 colonist at a time living in a native town to then educate, or get the education in there. So that is expert Europa planters. I don't suppose there's a huge amount of Europa over here that we will need to worry about, really. I think there's over there some, so that could be something. Over there. Oh, actually, I suppose we could double check. What can we do? Because the grapes, coal, and iron, or ore, that we can produce at the town center. We're going to keep it on the grapes for now. It's quite a good amount of stuff that we can produce there. So that will definitely help. And then, right, we've got the troops there. Let's head to the next round. Initially, the rounds are going to go fairly quickly. Let's speak with the chief. Oh, there's 150 gold. They're needing guns. Expert rice farmer, and that can actually be quite handy. Because we could do a bit of rice farming in, well, I suppose over there. Oh, right, there's another one. I guess we'll go out and talk with them real quick, and then we'll go ahead and check out what's down here. I won't be able to know what's surrounding us right now before we build too much up. So we got a bit of money. There's still 2 rounds before we arrive in here, which means that we can then purchase one of these. We might buy the fisherman or the evangelist. Did we get the... No, we got the tavern, right? Yeah, we did. So the tavern is, or the tavern and the upgrades of it, produce money, or gold, from your culture production, which right now is 5. And then you can have some people working in the tavern, either to produce more culture or produce happiness. So that is, or, you know, you can have one of each, for example. Happiness is kind of needed to make sure that your criminals and such are less likely to revolt. I mean, they might still. Let's respect the peace and talk to the chief. That's another 126. They are need of cigars and expert sugar blenders. Okay. So one thing to know is if you do deliver the stuff that they demand, and they do pay well, but if you start selling things like guns and horses to your neighboring natives, then you might have a bit of problems with them down the line. So if you start doing that, it would probably be wiser to sell that to natives that are next to your rivals rather than the ones that are next to you. Right, I believe our ship, yeah, it has arrived. We're not going to get a huge amount of money from this, but we're now at 600. We could purchase one of these. Honestly, the expert fisherman is going to be pretty good for food. So I do want to have one of those. We'll bring that in, and I suppose what we could do... as our current leader, the pioneers aren't too expensive, so we could purchase some tools, or we could try to just bring in another one. Actually, you know what, we'll bring in endangered servant to do a bit of woodcutting for us. And we'll send that to Spike. Right, okay, we've got one more move, so we can move on the hill there. But it does continue a bit further. Oh, that is a lake over there. Okay, good to know, good to know. The first trade agreement. Yes, we've done some trading. Ooh, there's a jaguar over there. Now, it would be... it's not going to be that dangerous. There we go, victory. Don't see any settlements here right now. Oh, no, there's Apache over there. We know that they're, like, well, it doesn't show the borders. So there's a town right there, actually. Judging by the hovering over there. Now, we do know that this area is actually somewhat open for a second settlement for us. Which can be quite handy, actually. Now, what are we... Okay, so there's the Master Powder Maker Evangelist. So that's the sort of special unit for making a lot more crosses, which is good for bringing a lot of people from Europe. And then there's Master Confectioner, which is making things like chocolate. And then Poultry Breeder, which is for breeding chicken and geese. Now, to be fair, we might want a Poultry Breeder eventually. But before we can start breeding those, we need to also bring in the animals in here. They don't just magically appear in here. Well, let's get to the next round. Let's see, there is... Well, we know that there's a town over there, so this is the lake still. Actually start heading down this way. Oh, the ship has arrived. Right, we can actually unload these already. And then let's assign the fisherman and the indentured servant in here already. So what are we getting? We're getting some... Oh, we're actually getting some rice over there. I mean, it's not the worst thing. I'm also getting some coca leaves. Alright then. We are still having a decent growth, but I suppose we are now getting more resources in here that we can utilize. Not a huge amount, but the rice we can turn into provisions later on in a bakery, which is going to be quite handy. And I think the coca leaves are just a trade resource right now. We could actually spend some of the money to build up the pier so we can get the fishermen actually doing some fishing in here. So you can use money to speed up the construction quite significantly. That's something that you probably should do a decent bit, especially early on, because it can give you quite a massive boost. So we'll get the village hall next, because that's going to open up a whole lot of other things. We could go and do some trading over there, or we could try sailing down south to that town. I don't know what they have in there. So there's the, in terms of the clouds and all that, there's different kinds of winds. There's stormy winds, there's fog, there's favorable winds, and then there's unfavorable winds, and all have different costs in there. more or less. There's also things like the reef over here, which is going to slow us down if we try to sail through there. But what we could do is try to sail through... Oh, okay, we won't really sail through there, but there's favorable winds over here that we can utilize. Ah, so there is the town. Let's go ahead and visit there. Yeah, there shall be peace. So we actually know 3 different natives that we are kind of wedged in between. That's interesting. And the production, I mean, we are going to start having quite a bit of wine, but the thing is, we can actually carry up to 300 stacks, or 300 units per stack on that ship. So we can actually let the trade goods accumulate here a little bit before we go back to Europe. I mean, we don't have a colonist there waiting yet anyway. It's going to take quite a while still. So we can actually do a bit of trading around here, gather some of the stuff over there, and so forth, and then go and sell a larger amount of goods at once. Native gold. As some natives approach, they open their hands. In the midday light of the sun, the silver amulets, the gold rings, and the gemstone decorated totem as they offer you glisten. A trapper who spent last winter with the heathens translates the words of their chief, who in exchange wants 3 iron hammers, a hemp sack with nails, a barrel of brandy, and a blunderbuss. You have to smile. Perhaps you can take the treasures of this foreign land without paying for them with the blood of your men. Right, let's go ahead and talk over here. And talk to the chief. Expert coffee planter, they are need of guns. Disillusioned missionary. Oh, that can be actually quite handy. We're going to heal up there with the unit, and we're going to send this back to the town. Let's go and do a bit of trading in here. So what do they sell? Fur, which is usually sold pretty cheaply. Some peat and food. Food they might not sell all that cheaply. It could be handy to speed up the growth of the town, though. I think what we're going to do is we'll buy the fur. Okay, it's a 20 extra over the number, so it's about 1.5 gold per unit. Well, I think that's fine, because we can sell that for quite a profit. I'm going to go ahead and sail a little bit further down the coast to double check if there's any more stuff in there. Several scholars in Europe declare that the Earth is a globe. Adventurers and explorers from all nations have set sail to find the western route to Asia. Right. Well, we're eventually perhaps going to try to do that, but not right now. Because we only got one ship. Oh, and there's a great white shark over there that might attack our ship here. I think it will be fine. Oh, that's a river. There's a black bear over there. We're going to go ahead and check out... Oh, there we go. There's another town there. Right, we can probably trade with them as well, and then head back here, bring in some of the resources, and then go ahead and sell some stuff back in Europe. And once we get the missionary, which will be okay in producing crosses, admittedly we don't have the chapel yet. We do have a bit of money, but we don't have that much to really afford that, and then also be able to do some trading right now. So let's go ahead and talk over here, shall we? They sell some clay. I mean, that could be actually quite handy. What do they want for that? There's 3 per unit. I mean, it's still cheaper than buying from Europe, I suppose. So we'll accept that offer. And then we'll go ahead and sail back to Spike to deliver those resources. And then we're going to go ahead and pick up some of the stuff to sell. I suppose mostly the grapes and the coca leaves. And we... Oh, right, yeah, we're getting the fishing done now. Oh, right, so that's gathering the leaves. Okay, that makes sense. So no rice being gathered currently, but we are getting a whole lot of food. 13 food per round. Which means that in 3 rounds we're going to get a new settler in here. Which also does mean that we are... Ooh, we need to bring in some stuff to arm a town guard or something. Which for that we're going to need, I think, yeah, 50 blades and 20 provisions. Which is not going to be cheap. So we'll need to do quite a bit of profit on our next trip down to there. We'll just pass through. I do actually want those. So there is probably going to be a crossing point over there. I think we're actually going to turn back towards the town. Because that can actually also help defend the town until we get a town guard. And then now, town guards are mostly... They're like a policing unit more rather than like an actual combat unit. They can somewhat hold their ground in the town. They're not that great. But it's a cheap unit, which can be quite easily produced. Even with just domestic production in here rather than importing stuff from Europe. Looks like the winds change a little bit. Hey, there we go. We've got a free colonist. So let's actually have a look. We can't... Yeah, no, we can't do those. We could get a rice farmer or a lumberjack. I'm not actually entirely opposed to a lumberjack. Could, technically speaking, get a cocoa planter as well. Wait, is that... Hold on a minute. I thought that would be coffee, but is that... Hold on a minute. No, that is coffee. Oh, cocoa planter, right, okay, that makes more sense. But there is also the coffee... Oh, no, we got the farm right in there, so we can't go for the coffee. Never mind. I think we're gonna start getting some lumber. Get that production going. And I'll unload these, and then let's load up the fur. That's gonna be 4 per unit. And the grapes are gonna be 3 per unit, so it's not gonna be a huge profit, but it will be some money at least. We'll sail off to Europe, and I believe we might have a new colonist. Yeah, by the time we arrive there, we'll have another colonist to pick up. But that does mean that we won't be able to... Unless we have enough money to turn that colonist into a town guard or something, then we can still send the dragoons to go and talk to some of these people. Although, getting a scout wouldn't be bad either, because that would actually get better results from talking to the natives. And installs the city of Potomac. We can probably... Yeah, we can help a little bit with the grain there. It keeps good relations with our neighbor. We do know that the Portuguese have quite a bit of money right now. And we do definitely need to do a bit more exploration for sure. I mean, we've only scratched the surface. I think it's about 150 tiles or so from north to south, this map, and then probably about 100 west to east, or east to west. There we go. So I suppose we're just going to stay on the watch for now, until we get another unit in here. And how we're looking on the... Well, I suppose here, we're getting quite a bit of... Well, we're getting some... wood over there, and then once we get the village hall, we'll probably build the chapel so that clergyman can actually get to work. Okay, yeah, it's over 300 at least. Oh, there's the confessioner. Can we? No, we can't actually turn you into anything. I could probably still bring you in, and then maybe purchase a little bit of the weaponry. Actually, what do we need for the scouts? Oh, that's 50 horses. Okay, that's going to be a bit expensive. I'm going to buy the blades. I'm going to buy 50 blades, which is going to be a bit expensive. But at least that's going to get us a little bit closer to getting the town guards. And then this missionary can join in. I suppose carpenter is probably going to be your best bet. Not a good bet, but it's the best bet right now. So at least we're still getting wood. Now getting the construction done slightly faster, but we could actually speed up a little bit. It will now use some of the wood since we have that, which does reduce the amount of gold that you need to spend to speed up the construction. We're not going to do that yet. Okay, so it looks like the clay does actually count for the supply limit in here. Same with the hemp, I believe, but the wood doesn't. That much I do know. Which allows you to then do construction work. It's kind of needed. Same with food, that's kind of necessity. Oh, looks like Portuguese have spent a bit of money there. And our ship is still 1 round away from arriving back to America, so let's keep on going. Ah, dangerous wild animal. Now, we do not have the money to hire a expert hunter, so we'll just have 1 round of disorder, which is not great. But we'll just have to live with that. We can unload this stuff over here. And confectioner, oh, you can't join in there right now during that. Okay, we'll just wait for a round. Okay, so the next round, there is some sea creature over here causing some issues. Okay, so now we should be able to, yeah, we can join the settlement. We've managed to return or resume order. We could, I'm going to go ahead and send the ship down this way to explore a little bit the coastline. While we wait for a bit more trade resources, quite frankly. Although the village hall is going to be done next round, in fact. Oh, right now we've got 2 people doing the construction work. I mean, I suppose that helps. We do get 1 from, like, a default, and then we get 5 from those 2. The growth speed has slowed down a little bit because there's more people eating the food, and less people, well, not as many people then comparatively producing the food, but we're still growing, so I'm not too worried about that. The village hall is going to be done right about now. There we go. We've also got a bit of borders in here. Which eventually these are going to switch to our side, which does mean that the relations that we have with the... actually forget what the people are in there, but the ones that own Potomac are going to go down. Right, let's go build the chapel. We could technically speaking queue up some things in there, but... oh, right, there's the Portuguese. Okay, they are going to have probably some issues over here as well. With the natives, so we'll go and trade with those, I suppose. And Taran is generating a bit of money. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's some at least. And we're getting a bit of a culture in here on these two now, so eventually those will culture flip those tiles. And eventually we might even be able to culture flip the town there, but that's going to be tricky. Not impossible, but a little bit tricky. Right, let's go ahead and talk with these. What do you have? I want to buy the furs. Okay, what about just the fur? Okay, 76. I'll accept that offer. Let's go ahead and return to Spike. And we can pick up some of the other things, maybe the coca leaves, for example, and then go and sell that in Europe. Maybe try to bring in some of the... I don't know if we'll actually have enough. We don't have another... No, we don't have another colonist there yet. The chapel is going to be built fairly shortly, but I do see that we are more or less out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.